Peace. I think might ain't be no thing fast. Never mind. Happy now. Now the vibrate. I want to speak on in which I'm kind of moving it fast. Spiritual growth and working through things. I think about the video. I did a video on it. I think about the story of the woman who knew how to she knew how to be a breatharian. Matter of fact, in the book autobiography of a yogi, you had this yogi who knew how to be a breatharian, and Paramahansa Yogananda was like, "Oh shit! Well, since you know how to be a breatharian, you should teach that to the rest of the world. You could stop hunger and all this." But she was like, "If I taught everybody how to stop eating today," she was like, "the farmers wouldn't thank me. The farmers would no longer, out of the blue, the farmers would no longer have a purpose. Like all those acres of land and all that work they putting in would be, for nothing. And then, fruits would also no longer serve a purpose if I just, again, made everybody or help everybody to be a breatharian, to get to that level." But realizing that there's a certain divine order in place, there's lessons in place for all of us to learn. And the reason why I'm bringing this up, I thought about, I came across a Bobby Hemmett video the other night. We're talking about a Urzuli spell to get like whatever amount of money you want. And then I thought about how, when you look across the board at anybody who speaks on magic, the occult, or, esoteric information and dealing with getting money, you realize like, all right, as much like say for as much as these spells and stuff work, and you could get as much money as you want, and we can manifest whatever we want. You start to realize though, like, but still these people, like, like say for instance, a Bobby Hemmett, going through. Matter of fact, blessings and love to the elder Bobby, but going through the situation with the stroke, or just anybody like we could see and be like, well, if we know how to magically make money, why don't we just all magically make money and tear down the whole system right now? You know what I'm saying? Like, if I could make $1 million, pop out of nowhere, then say for instance, like when we think about some lecturers, speaking on like how like they could use the funds, like from Dr. Phil Valentine to Bobby Hemmett, matter of fact, I think about Bobby Hemmett passing the little bucket around, like the Bobby Hemmett fund. And I realized, the different aspects of why that may be, and not even say think, like I just kind of caught the download from one, if we was just to snap of a finger, just make ourselves like trillionaires, on that level, we skipping out on a lot of inner work that we should be doing, you know what I'm saying? Like, it'll be to that level whenever we do, whatever work that we came down here to work through, you know what I'm saying? Whatever lessons we came down here to learn, all that would just be thrown out the window if we were able to just magically make anything appear at any moment. Of course we can, but again, we also here, keeping in perspective, there's a integration of energies, are quote unquote balance, where as much as our thoughts manifest into the physical, and we can manifest any and all things with our minds, it's certain things that would throw things out of divine order if you just snap of the finger. Because say for instance, if like, one of us just automatically just became a trillionaire, that means we would start, not only again skipping out on some of our own growth, but then we would become enablers to the people around us. Because here it is, people around us wouldn't be able to grow and learn on their own, because we just like, here's some lump sum without you doing any kind of work, or and of course if it lined up that way, then that would mean that it was meant to happen, and that things would, it would be beneficial, in that manner. But again, the reason why it's not lining up, like reason why you see that all of us are going through the work, and here it is that people that know the insides and outs of magic and occult information still not richer than Bill Gates or the Queen of England or this and that, you know what I'm saying? And which another thing too, which goes into that we know that our real wealth is behind this, out of this bodysuit is where the real wealth lies. So another reason why a lot of us not so, you know, like I say, trying to, and not to say that some aren't trying to magically manifest like billions or whatever, but you realize a certain vibe in, just when you have that understanding that your wealth is, on a spiritual level, you tend to not really, again, worry too much about the financial wealth. Like a lot of us, in most cases, like I think about myself as a little kid, always telling my higher self, like, look, I just want enough money to never have to worry about having to, make money again. So like, enough of money for me to enjoy doing the things that I love, and never have to worry about like, oh, when this bill gonna be paid, or when it like just a steady, constant flow to take care of, my living, and to enjoy myself to the fullest. And in a lot of cases, it doesn't take billions and trillions of dollars. That's why a lot of people have all that shit just sitting there. People got these big ass homes, and it's only them. Like, here it is, you got a big ass mansion, but because you're rich, you barely fuck with people, so you ain't even really got that many people to share that big ass house with. So it is those aspects where, again, material gain doesn't automatically equate to happiness, and spiritual gain. I mean, and physical gain also doesn't correlate to spiritual wealth directly as well. Like some people are just good at being in this physical matrix, but spiritually, when they transition, they ain't got enough of light to light a stove, let alone to become a star, or to leave this earthly plane. you know but I did think about that, because matter of fact, the brethren, when Bobby brought up the thing, is like, which at first it would sound kind of funny, somebody would probably look at it like, that don't. But it's like, I didn't. He's like, I didn't use the ritual, or the actual. It's like a little ritual in essence, or so to speak, like a little spell ritual. But he's like, cause spirit, basically in so many words, like, spirit showed him some love, and in essence, just the fact of knowing that it could work, he was like, that's for y'all. Like, I got shown the little love that I wanted out of the situation. So it was like, this is not something I'm sitting here doing myself, all the time. Like, I learned it, and now sharing it. But I definitely get that vibe of that. Again, we would throw off, the divine order of things. That's why, again, why we are where we at right now. Like, a lot of us, that have $1 million, dreams or aspirations, quote unquote, but we still kind of in those, the stages of working on it, because again, we have to work out certain energies within ourselves. If we just got the money right now, then we would be a person with a lot of money, but still with these certain energy blockages that, which would really would show itself back up, because as you have this money, you would end up probably, like something would end up happening to it, because it's somewhere in your growth, you lack maturity on a spiritual level, dealing with, abundance, so as much as you got that lump sum, and, oh, I got the money, but there's a certain type of consciousness, that comes with allowing for the abundance to continue, and if you don't gain that level of consciousness, then you're gonna be like a little millionaire for a little while, for a little second you play with the millions, but then it's gonna be gone, and you'll be back at square one, not being able to truly manifest it on that level, because again, you haven't done the inner work that it takes to get to that level. So, again, with a lot of this, and two, I feel like a lot of us too are more studiers. Like, not to say that we don't actively use our magic, because again, we are magic just in, like, that's magic right there. I turn carbon dioxide, Matter of fact, what it is, I took in some oxygen and pushed out carbon dioxide, right quick, magic. So we slip and fall into being magical, on that level as well. But again, I realized too, some of us are so much students of the information, and not to say that we're not practicing what we're preaching, but again, whereas like a lot of these different little spells and stuff like that, it's like and I guess too, again, the real true wealth for us is in the information, and as long as we're able to, say for instance, buy books on a certain level, again, like having a certain level of abundance that allows for us to do what we love, and it'll grow from there. But I see a lot of there's no master occultist or or esoteric information studier or philosopher of the occult, especially in the melanated community, that's like a billionaire or a trillionaire or even a millionaire, what I'm saying, in essence. And again, you see that vibe, but for the most part, I feel like, again, other than the other things I spoke on, also just that love of studying so much and seeing the information as well, and not necessarily like as long as we pulling in revenue in the currency to continue our studies, continue what we doing, it's like, again, the wealth be in the gaining of the information as well, but just definitely want to share that vibe, because I did see that trend, and that did kind of, when I came across that video and I think about it, I'm like, here it is. Well, we know, like a lot of us know, again, the ins and outs to this matrix, and I say the ins and outs as if we know everything there is to know about. I guess so much that we don't know as much as we do know, you know what I'm saying? But again, like, where the people with a lot of this occult esoteric information about magic and how to magically manifest things, but yet are the ones that may still be dealing with not producing a lot of currency, so to speak. And matter of fact, that also goes, I got a video y'all could check out. It's like a video on old souls, but like dealing with old souls in abundance, and why like certain old souls have difficulty manifesting abundance as well. That kind of, go check out that video, because that'll kind of coincide perfectly with this video and what I'm speaking on. But because again, it is an understanding of wealth that exists beyond this physical matrix. But again, not to make it seem like, again, like it's just about the non-physical aspect, because again, we are here on a physical experience for a reason as well, here to learn and be able to master being in a bodysuit while still being connected to our God self, like, 'cause that's in essence, when you think about it, that is a certain type of mastery level, like being able to, again, to be good at all different things, because a energy that never, say for instance, occupied a bodysuit, as much as it could be, I'm great and all that is, well, let's see how great and all that you are in a bodysuit. You know what I'm saying? Like, 'cause that's how I feel about our situation. Is like, all right, again, like another experience, not necessarily a test, but somewhat like a, just a different experience for source, which because again, that source observing itself, there's a lot to gain from, again, being in the human body and seeing all the different aspects, like seeing how I am as different humans, seeing how I am as different, animals and insects, seeing how I am as clouds and as weather, like, is observing, God observing itself on all levels. And to a certain extent, God having an ego, you know, because in order to be in this physical plane, you got to stop and, you know, want to look at yourself, you know, because Infinite, they spoke on that on Lucy, like the movie Lucy, where she showed the car passing, you know, and then she was like, when the car, you know, passes fast, and then showed the car passing so fast to where you can't even see it. And that's the way, you know, we exist on, you know, on a high level, you know, vibrating so fast and at such a high pace that it becomes a certain level to where we're everywhere, you know what I'm saying, and not just in this, you know, one spot. Because again, actually being in the physical realm is actually again a personification of vibration slowing up. Even speaking is a, you know, words is a lower vibrational form of communication, you know. But again, if, showing like when that car slowed down, you know, or like as it's passing slow, again, that's like us being in the physical form and God being able to observe itself as it slowed down the vibration of itself, you know, compared to vibrating at a high frequency and being everywhere and everything at all times, you know, where, you know, how could I look in the mirror or see myself if I'm all that is all the time and I'm kind of just one consciousness, you know, sitting by myself, and how could I observe myself, you know? You know, how could I even create a physical mirror to see myself if I have to create something physical first and foremost to even have a mirror to see myself? You know, which again, kind of, you know, that little bits of what I'm speaking right now goes into the reason why we, you know, exist here on this physical plane. You know, one just a few of the many aspects of what goes into us being here on this physical plane. That's why again that's why I could basically kind of do videos for days. Like you know, that's why I do my videos in this manner too. Like just everything that comes to me when it comes to me, because I know it's all source energy, just, you know, leaking out from my little unique perspective. You know, because I know there's a certain uniqueness that I could express that's unique only to my experience. You know, and when I say only to my experience, of course, some people may experience things, you know, similar or, you know, in certain ways that's close to the way I'm experiencing things. But again, there's nobody else whose bodysuit, you know, is melanated. They got a LA tat right here. Their parents named them Carl Haynes. They got dreads. They were born in Opelousas. You know, grew up with one family owning a funeral home. That, like, you know, that experience is unique to me. Like every aspect of what went on in my physical, you know, life up until this point is unique to my experience. But that also gives me a unique, you know, outlook and perception. You know, the way I perceive things, you know, is different. And again, start from the physical upbringing, and also again, before that, you know, with the zodiac signs, you know, the energies of the stars, you know, being in a certain alignment where we're born gives a certain blueprint to our energy, you know, and that's all unique depending on, because even people all born on January 5th, 1987, you know, were born in certain in different areas, and depending on where you was born at, certain, you know, stars may have been visible or not visible, you know, over the horizon, and that again, that all that energy goes into, you know, it's almost like as soon as your umbilical cord is cut, like taking a freeze frame picture of the cosmos, like where you know where everything at on a visible scale, and that blueprint goes into you, you know, right, right. Again, at the cutting of the umbilical cord. But up until because some people say the first breath, I feel like it's a mixture of both. I feel like your true born date in essence is the moment you take your first breath after your umbilical cord is cut. The first breath, like when the umbilical cord get cut, the moment, like, cause matter of fact, now when your umbilical cord is cut, your magnetic field is being separated from your mom. So again, you individually, you know, like I say, for lack of a better word, you know, being born, but you know, you're getting your own energy field and energy signature at that moment. You know, like bam, cut the umbilical cord, and You could freeze frame, you know, and look around and at the cosmos, and that's the energy that goes into your being, the way you wired, you know, personality, you know, mind, body, and soul, all influenced by these different stars. But again, to get back to the place of, you know, us having these all this information of, you know, how to do magic, ritualistic, sex magic, this and that, but yet you know, none of us that speak on this information are like, you know, like multi-trillionaires, this and that, you know, because again, not only would throw off the balance of the divine, you know, the divine order that's in place as far as everybody learning their lessons, you know. If I just, you know, got a million out the blue without learning my own lessons, you know, not only I I skipped out on certain things that I was supposed to learn for myself, but then as I get that money and start sharing it with others, you know, I'm enabling them to not have to do their spiritual work and just giving them money, you know. And here it is, where after all that money gone, we a bunch of people that have used all our money and still with no spiritual growth in essence. And again, also with the wealth being in the, you know, in the knowledge of self in general, you know, that, and I think that's another thing too, where we just get a certain, like, you know, like it's like life, you know what I'm saying, like a certain level of life coming into us just off of dealing with the knowledge, you know, because that's how I feel about it, you know. I feel like it has a certain wealth, you know. I mean, down to where I see it, and this is not meaning to go around expecting others to take care of us, because again, we should be taking care of ourselves independently. But you know, there is a vibe of, you know, people, you know, helping, you know, because of that vibe in essence, you know, like, oh man, you know, I appreciate the video, this and that, let me help you out, or like with donations, stuff like that, you know. But that's the gist of the whole vibe that I get from the situation, you know, as far as like, you know, why the people who know the ins and outs, or, you know, speak on the ins and outs of magic and, you know, how to manifest things, how could some of those people still not have, you know, the billions? And again, that's also perception of wealth, again, which I didn't say that directly, but again, like what you perceive as wealth. Like some people feel like, you know, like, you know, millions and trillions is what they need to, you know, to enjoy life. You know, while some of us know that, you know, it's about getting to a certain spiritual place, you know, enjoying life first and foremost, and then, you know, that abundance will, you know, will come. But it's again, it's enjoying, you know, being happy, enjoying being before the money, you know, even shows, because that's how the money come, you know, is by feeling the abundance within without having to see paper money or seeing a certain amount in your bank account, you know. Just the fact that you are able to, you know, attain information and retain information, the fact that you're able to, you know, I was gonna go through a little line thing. Matter of fact, because I kind of caught like a little download, but just again, with just the aspects of abundance not being uh just about material gain and material wealth, you know. And again, this is not saying you know, again, it's an integration of energy. We are a source from the human experience, and money is a tool, you know. Picture money is like if you had a toolbox, and like, so say for like a monkey wrench and your screwdriver, but it was all like folded up money. You know what I'm saying? That's just like that. That's what money is. It's like tools, you know, like a paper screwdriver. You know, help you to fix certain things, you know, and deal with certain things in this physical realm. You know, it's a tool, in this energy. You know, so. But that's basically it. I don't want to go too deep. I've been making my videos extremely long anyway. But that's basically it. You know, just why, you know, that little dynamic again of why some you know, deal with the magic, know of all these magical spells and stuff like this. But yet, you know, it's like, why they ain't millionaires or, you know, at least 1,000 there. 900 $900 thousandaire. Where you can have multiple $900,000. I don't know how that would work. If that works the same as being a millionaire, but you know, that's the whole vibe. But peace, happy now. Now is the vibrate, of course. Not going too far in the future. Not going too far in the past. Right now. Peace, peace.